be used properly. But as you know, as I'm glued to the TV, and you know, I'm trying to figure out like just what's even going on, like how is this happening? And sometimes it's like, you know, I gotta turn the TV off because it's like it's so overwhelming. Nowhere near as overwhelming as it must be.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report News Break. Well, today I have a very interesting show for you all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, because you're going to want to share this story. So many clips from some important people, some first-hand accounts of what exactly happens when you're alone with Diddy. Tell you the truth, Nicki Heaton, I believe her name is, she's telling a story of Kanye West being involved in a studio with Diddy and her and other people around that just were totally not willing to help. It's very sad to listen to her story, and I'm sure that this is the wrong story that you want to leak out because of obvious because of the obvious. Well, also the feature clip. We have Nicki Minaj on Twitter. She is absolutely airing out some people that you would not believe. Well, you've heard the names before, but I'll tell you what, it's some very shocking revelations, very shocking developments, and as we stay on top of this case and keep you updated, because we believe that the victims are the real people that you should feel for in this case. Perpetrators, suspects, you know, let's reserve that for the court, but the victims and how they feel and their lives, how they have been forever damaged, is something to feel sorry for. Well, I want you guys to check out these clips, and we'll be back.
Nicki Minaj is calling out Jay-Z for being involved in the freak-offs with Diddy. Nicki Minaj is on Twitter going off on Jay-Z and all his little minions, saying they all have been quiet about everything that they've known for years about Diddy. This all started because Nicki Minaj said she received a call that Jay-Z sold his company called Tidal, and they offered her $1 million, but she had 24 hours to sign the agreement or it was off the table. And Nicki Minaj is claiming that this $1 million offer is to keep her silent, and it's basically hush money. And this reminded me of when Diddy said that he was going to give his publishing back to all of his artists, and then Aubrey O'Day read an NDA that came with the publishing rights, and you had to say that you would never talk about Diddy or anybody that he was ever affiliated with if you signed that deal to get back your publishing rights. And this is where it gets good, because she starts calling out Steve Stout, Jay-Z, and other people, saying, we want to know if you were present during the abuse of these minors. She said, we want to know about Aaliyah, Foxy Brown, etc. during those R. Kelly videos and shoots and stuff. Did you know about the abuse of Kim Porter and Cassie? Y'all seem to always run in a sort of rat pack. So that's what we the people want to know about you and your people to speak on. Somebody tweeted out, they wanted brunch and baby oil. And then she said, worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child who is railroaded, but no comments of the tea and the baby oil that's been going on for decades, as recent as months ago. If 15-year-olds need to be held accountable and told they can never move past their past, then what happened to the 30-year-olds who groomed and sat by and was silent? Then she said, undercover men are always aggravated with women because they have decided that they can't live their truth. Therefore, women who have done nothing wrong to them are made to pay for simply existing. Fix it, Jesus. Enough is enough. And then she shared this post saying, move, that says Nicki Minaj has now surpassed Jay-Z to become the 6th longest charting rapper of all time on Billboard. Ooh, boy, this shit is getting juicy. Jay-Z is getting called out, and we knew it was going to happen. I feel like all of Hollywood is about to crumble with all of this stuff about Diddy. We are gonna learn the truth about every single person that was involved. But you guys let me know what you guys think about Nicki Minaj calling out Jay-Z and his rat pack for knowing about everything that Diddy did in the comments.
Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like, my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me, so I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hands and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip. 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like this isn't her. Like she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And she starts like almost being like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. Like she's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And the girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? So I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine. I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is. I know, I know this is a bad place to be in, but I don't really feel scared yet, you know? Like, cause I'm like, there's other people around. There's other men around, and I know them. Like, I've known them for a while. Like, nothing bad's gonna happen. And I'm standing there, and I realize that so this is like a pretty, like, sizable studio. There's, like, the glass doors, the couch there, a console, another console, the screen, all of that. But it's like, it's pretty big, but you can still see and talk to everyone easily. And I realize that I'm standing really close to the exit. And it's a glass door, and it opens in. And I'm standing pretty close to it. And I realize all of a sudden that Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like fucked out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And, like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still, like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but, like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. Yeah, so they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to, like, take my clothes off. And I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. Did this just freeze? Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like, seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like, we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like, if I reached and he reached too, like, we could touch. Like, he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like, I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like, step in. Like, this isn't cool. Like, you're a grown man. Like, you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family. Like, you know this isn't right. Like, do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these 2 grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's 2 more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next and I'm like, okay, like, do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. And I'm like, do something, you know, like, fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that, like, gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything. And that's when I was truly fucking scared. At this point, they had ripped my shirt off and they were trying to get my pants off. And I realized that I was completely alone. And I closed my eyes for a second. And I was like, God help me. What do I do?
He is naming LeBron James, Beyonce, Jay-Z. Why is he saying these people in particular? Well, as we know, they have a lot of clout in Black America. In fact, Black America treats these people like they're kings and queens. In fact, Black America refers to these individuals as kings and queens. Yes, LeBron James is known as the king, right? Beyonce is the queen, Queen Bey. And whenever these people come out and they make a statement politically, everyone just immediately gets into formation, especially for Beyonce, if you get where I'm going here. Beyonce and Jay-Z were one of the first people that were out marching for Trayvon Martin. Remember that picture of them? They were out marching and everyone said, oh my gosh, that was it. Suddenly BLM was a thing. It was mainstreamed and you were not allowed to be a Black person that stood against BLM, because who would stand against something that the queen herself ordained? And something else that I've noticed is that these individuals, they're all on the same side politically. Like, don't you think that's kind of strange? Wouldn't you just expect amongst different people for them to just have different opinions? Like, who do you agree with 100% of the time? Well, as it turns out, in Hollywood, you essentially have to be on the left. You have to, especially if you're a Black American, feed the Democrat machine. And the Democrat machine loves a good race bait, right? We're constantly having to tell Black Americans that, oh, just, you know, one more hill to climb. If you guys elect Barack Obama, then the racism of the past will be over. And then Black Americans elect Barack Obama, and after Barack Obama's president, it seems like race issues are worse than ever before. Oh, it's okay, we've got BLM now, and if we just keep rioting and looting in the streets, then we will finally get the justice that we deserve. And truly, it's crazy to see this. It's crazy to see how easy it is for these celebrities to come out and make a statement and to just watch all of Black America follow along, asking no questions, as if everybody's a robot. And God forbid you're someone like me who goes, hey, wait a minute. What if this is just stupid? And they go, oh, Uncle Tom, race traitor. She must do this for white people. She doesn't care about us. She ain't like us. She is not invited to the cookout. That's what they tell me all the time. I'm not invited to the cookout. And essentially what they're saying is we are all one monolith. And we have, in a lot of ways, become a monolith because we worship these stars. It's quite bizarre to see this. And so LeBron James, let's really hone in on his messages of the past, because he's become one.
So as you guys can see, there's some real serious allegations going on against some really serious people. We got people selling companies. We got people spiking drinks. Definitely not a laughing matter. If I had written a script for a movie, it probably wouldn't have as many twists and turns and plots as this. This Diddy case is probably going to go down as one of the biggest cases ever in the history of television, internet, period. It's very sad, and I hate to see the victims suffer. And hopefully, we can get some justice, and all the facts come out in court, and we'll let the chips fall where they may. But many are saying that Diddy's on suicide watch and things like that. But I'm focused on the victims, right? I want to know what you all think. Don't be scared to voice your opinion on this case. You, the people, are the reason why the law is protecting and dealing with these suspects. It doesn't matter if you're in Hollywood. It doesn't matter if you're a recording artist. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And the things that I'm hearing are flat out wrong. And you know what? There's some people that I really look up to that I'm hoping right now that their name doesn't get implemented in this case. Well, this is WD3. This is your Hill Report News Break. And comment. I want to know what you think. Comment. All right. Well, we're out.